Damn boy, you thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. Hey, I'm Rob, I'm a certified HYTE simp, and this is the HYTE Thicc with 2 C's AIO. Straight off the bat, this thing is an absolute unit. I'm in awe at the size of this lad, Thicc. Let's, you got a rip for Thicc. I kind of like it. It's really cool packaging because you get an experience. It's not like you can't open it nicely, you gotta do one of them. We don't need those. Get them out of here. So this is HYTE's first AIO, and that was an absolute weighty unit then. That was very heavy. It's a bit of a chonker, but for good reason. This thing is gonna absolutely remove all thermals. So it's an absolutely weighty unit. It weighs quite a bit. Obviously designed for HYTE's cases, you know, the Y60, Y70, Y40, it does fit in all 3 of those. So straight off the bat, this thing is the perfect companion for your HYTE case. Absolute unit of machine. I know I've said that a couple times now, but it just is. Oh, some satisfying when I'm unwrapping there. Pretty satisfying. Get that out of the way. So on this thing, there is a 5-inch LCD screen which swivels, which is really cool. We'll get into that in a few minutes. That's the nice pre-applied thermal paste while you're there. Show you a nice picture. Always nice, because my thermal paste applications previously have been known as excessive, a waste of money, and damaging to the economy. So there's your nice big screen. It tilts both directions, which I don't think I've seen anyone do that yet in AIOs. Pretty cool, because if you know you've got your case on an angle or on a side, you can tilt it towards you, so you can see the time, you can see your temps, whatever you're going to put on there, whatever you want to have cool on there. So if you've lost an iPod Touch, I think I might have found it. This is a 780 by 1280 5-inch display. You can put your GIFs on here, you can put videos in here, obviously you can put stats on here. Favorite part about it though, if we swivel around, on the back of the dual hinge display is 42 QRGB LEDs. So it's a nice bit of RGB on this. You can have whatever colors you want. Maybe go for like a bright pink on our setup. Cables are absolutely yucky, as we all know. So this thing has been designed with as few of them as possible in mind. So straight out of the box, all pre-done, all pre-ready to go, pretty much, other than just a few little things we got to put on. It's compatible with both AMD and Intel CPUs. So you got choice for both of those. 240mm small and 52mm thick. This absolute ginormous heat exchanger it's a statement piece, let's be honest. It's gonna take up a big part of your case, but I kind of like it. In the pictures we've seen from HYTE pre-installed in their cases, again, it does take up quite a bit, but it looks good. It's a very much I care about my temps, but I also want to look pretty. Let's get real, this is a pretty hefty AIO. At 240mm small and 52mm thick, it's gonna take a bit of noticing in your case. Let's leave it at that. So one of the downsides of the Q60, and there's really not that many, you have to use HYTE's Thicc fans. That's because the entire system all works together. These are daisy chainable fans that connect to this, and you don't have to use a lot of cables because it all goes together. Now, obviously that means that there's no RGB version at the minute of these fans. But you have got the RGB on the back of the screen, there's RGB on this HYTE symbol here, and I think it works quite well without it. You know, it's quite a statement piece as it is, the white and the black, the two-tone sort of design. More than that, in HYTE cases, you know, they've all been designed quite well to fit in that little front pocket. Looks really cool. Other cases, you might run into some issues. Again, this is quite a thick cooler. You might find that this is either a little bit too big to fit comfortably in your case, or might block some of the nice RGB you've already got inside your case from your motherboard and your RAM. In terms of performance, I mean, it's gonna be a winner. It's an absolute big boy, and it's big for a reason. These are some serious fans, these 32mm thick HYTE fans. They pull a lot of air, they push a lot of air. It's gonna do some cooling. The actual radiator itself is another big boy, but that is gonna seriously help with the cooling performance of even the most demanding CPUs out there at the minute. So all the RGB, all the screen effects on this wonderful 5-inch display is controlled via HYTE's pretty good Nexus Link app. It's pretty easy to use, pretty easy to download. All you gotta do is jump on, install some GIFs, install some videos, or choose some pre-calibrated options. For instance, a clock, there's CPU temp monitoring, and all some good stuff like that. So what else do you get in the box? Well, not too much. There is a nice little manual here, you know, because we all read those. So also in the box is the Q60 accessory pack, which has your CPU mounting brackets and some lovely cables. Obviously, we talked about the cables a little minute ago. These are designed to be as seamless as possible. So if I hold that up there for you, you should be able to see it is one connection there and it goes through to your motherboard in 3 cables. Let's get real, this is a pretty big cooler. At 52mm thick and 240mm small, it's gonna take a bit of space in your case, but that does mean it is gonna have some incredible performance for you on even the most demanding processors. The Short King punches way above the belt, and if you're rocking a HYTE case, then the Q60 is a great option. For other cases, you might want to check your measurements first because there is a bit of a chance it's a bit too big for you. The dual harmonic pumps are adjustable from 2000 to 4500 RPM. That's all controllable via temperature and by your own curve. The Q60, for how powerful it is pretty quiet and will effortlessly tame even the hottest CPUs. If you're a big fan, but you've already got your own AIO, then maybe it's time to upgrade to some Thicc fans. HYTE really know what they're doing with the packaging. Like, it's a brown box, but it's, you know, it's nice. It's got they put some effort in. So included with the Thicc fans is obviously the fans themselves. There's this one that is on its own because the other two don't like it. More fan action for you. So the HYTE Thicc fans are super easy to daisy chain together. What you gotta do is just clip them together like that and you're ready to go. The 32mm thick with 2 Cs FP12 fans are dynamically adjustable from 0 to 3000 RPM, and the fiberglass reinforced liquid crystal polymer supercharges the fan blades, delivering a monstrous 105.8 CFM airflow and 8.40mm H2O static pressure, which is going to move some serious air around your case. Also included in the box is the HYTE Nexus portal. Now, this absolutely genius little box lets you control everything with as few cables as possible. Finally, you've got your accessories box. This has everything you need to get going, your screws and your cables. Now onto the last product we're looking at today. We've got the HYTE RGB Strips. It's actually a really pretty box. I kind of like that. It's kind of like fireworks going off. Let's have a look at this. Again, with the super clean, like very minimalist looking box, but it's got the nice little design on it. It's not just a plain cardboard box, if you get what I'm saying. Got the wonderful little logo. As we open up, we've got the accessories box, and we've got some RGB strips. And the perfect way to finish off your setup, cute little bit of RGB. And remember, RGB strips, having any RGB lighting in your rig, at least gets you 20% more FPS, and that is a true fact. So in the box, there are 3 RGB strips that easily connect to the Nexus portal, and a box of accessories, including cable extensions and some other stuff you might need.
A few minutes later.
Hey Overclockers, a bit of a fast cut to a few weeks later for you, but I've finally managed to smuggle this beauty out of the office and it'll be sliding into my personal rig. You might remember this baby from a few videos ago, the 8-pack brutally roast staff PC setups. That was a pretty good one. If you like anim, you'll like that one. There has been a few upgrades since then, which sort of justifies this thick boy being needed. Aimed at 1440p gaming, it has an RTX 3070, Ryzen 7900X for the occasional bit of video editing, and 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM. And of course, as a certified HYTE simp, it's in the beautiful Y60. The Q60 itself is really easy to actually install into your PC. More than just the fact it has one connector going to the AIO itself, changing the bracket from Intel to AMD is super simple. Unlike another all-in-one coolers, this thick bad boy features tools brackets. You just slide out the old ones and replace them with whichever you need. In addition to the weather, temperatures from almost every single piece of hardware on your rig, what you're currently listening to, and more, you can put just about whatever you want on the screen itself, including GIFs and videos. There's even the option to have a playlist of content changing at set intervals. HYTE promises there's additional features coming soon as well, with a teased app focus mode designed to automatically change the face of your cooler depending on what you're doing. So what do you reckon to the HYTE Q60? It certainly is a thick boy. The Thicc fans as well, and those cute RGB strips. If you're going to pick them up, make sure to let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.